He was Earth's biggest threat, not because of weapons, but because no one, not even aliens, could resist him. They called him too charming, too dangerous, too human. So Earth exiled him, thinking they'd silenced the fire. But somewhere deep in space, he built a lounge, a private room where even alien queens begged to enter, and galactic rulers now fight for an invitation. But when one alien spy gets too close and discovers who or what he really is, the entire galaxy starts to realize banning him was Earth's last mistake. Welcome to Humanity Prime HFY, the only channel where humans flirt, fight, and fuck the galaxy in the most badass ways possible. I'm your story host, JT, the guy who voices the legends they don't want you to hear. And today, we're diving into a story that starts with exile, but ends with the galaxy on its knees. Let's begin. He stood in the center of the courtroom, tall, calm, and smirking like the charges were a joke. They called him Jax Orion, human, earthborn, and now officially banned from his own planet. The room was full of silence. Thousands watched the broadcast across the galaxy. Even more leaned in, waiting for his reaction. The Galactic Council expected fear, regret, a desperate plea for mercy. But all they got was Jax adjusting his black jacket, fixing his cufflink, and giving the alien judge a wink. "You're making a big mistake, sweetheart," he said, voice smooth like whiskey. A ripple of gasps echoed through the chamber. The judge, a six-eyed creature from Sector 7, growled back. "Jax Orion, you've broken over 20 interplanetary laws. You seduced a galactic commander's wife, corrupted 3 royal daughters, and turned a peace conference into an orgy." Jax shrugged. "They were bored," he said. "I'm a fixer." Another gasp. This time someone in the audience laughed, quickly silenced. The judge slammed the gavel. "You are hereby exiled from Earth. No planet in the Terran system shall accept you. No human shall aid you. You are a danger to order, to structure, to discipline." Jax tilted his head and grinned. "You mean I'm too much fun?" Security bots moved in. The judge leaned forward, almost whispering. "You'll die out there, human, alone." Jax stepped back, hands raised. He looked at the cameras, at billions watching from homes, bars, bunkers, and bunk beds, and he said just one line. "We'll see who ends up alone when the galaxy starts begging for my invite." 6 months later, a luxury bar floats between galaxies. No signs, no coordinates. Only those who get the invite know where to find it. Inside, red lights glow soft against silver walls. Alien perfumes drift in the air. Music plays low and seductive. And there, behind Jax. Orion pours himself a drink. He's not hiding. He's not surviving. He's living better than anyone ever imagined. Across the lounge, a tall alien woman with shimmering blue skin walks in. She's half warrior, half goddess, and all eyes follow her as she approaches. "You're the one they banned?" she asks, her voice like silk and venom. Jax doesn't even turn. "Depends. Are you the one who's going to regret meeting me?" She laughs, slow and deep. "You humans are all ego." He finally looks up, eyes locking. "No, darling. I'm not ego. I'm proof that the universe was missing something spicy." She leans in close. "Careful." I bite. He smiles, taking a slow sip. "I hope you do." In the far corner, 2 cloaked figures watch from the shadows. "Is this him?" one whispers. "The one who turned the Princess of Varn into his pet?" The other nods. They say she never went back to her throne. She stayed here, just to serve drinks in a dress he picked. Why doesn't the council shut him down? Because half of them are on his guest list. Back at the bar, Jax slides a glass to his new guest. "No charge," he says. She raises an eyebrow. "Why free?" He leans closer, voice low and teasing. Because I'm hoping you'll owe me something much hotter. Her lips curl into a smile. But behind that smile, her eyes are scanning, recording, sending data. She's not just here for a drink. She's on a mission. And Jax Orion? He already knows. He leans back, finishes his drink, and casually says, "You're wearing a wire, sweetheart. At least let me buy you dinner before the betrayal." Her eyes widen. For the first time, she's caught off guard. But Jax just winks again. "You can try to take me down. But remember, once they taste freedom, nobody begs to go back to the leash." The camera zooms in on his face. Cool, calm, deadly. Then, alert. Unauthorized breach in Sector 12. Lights flash red. The room shakes. The guests scream. And from outside the window, a massive warship uncloaks, with Earth's insignia glowing on the hull. Jax puts his glass down slowly. "Well, damn," he mutters, eyes locked on the ship. "They actually sent her." The red light painted the lounge in shadows. Guests ducked behind sleek tables. Bartenders froze with half-filled glasses in hand. And Jax Orion? He just smirked, like the warship outside was delivering a package. "Seal the doors," he said calmly. A towering reptilian bouncer growled, "They got Earth markings." Jax stood up, stretching his arms like he just woke from a nap. "I know, that ship doesn't come with warnings. She's here to collect." The spy girl, still seated, still wired, stared at him. "You knew Earth would come for you?" "I was counting on it." She frowned. "Why?" He walked past her slowly, voice smooth like honey poured over steel. "Because exile's not a punishment. It's a test." Suddenly, a blast rocked the far wall. Boom! A glowing entrance tore through the lounge. Smoke, sparks, footsteps. And then, she walked in. Captain Isla Voss, the last woman Jax ever trusted. The only woman who ever betrayed him, without taking her clothes off first. Tight black armor, scar across her lip. Hair slicked back like she meant war. The room fell silent again, except Jax, who casually dropped back into his chair and poured another drink. "Well, well," he grinned. "If it isn't the Queen of Cold Shoulders." Isla didn't flinch. "Shut it down, Jax." He raised an eyebrow. "You mean the bar or the mood?" She stepped closer. "This place violates 5 interstellar trade laws, 2 seduction codes, and a dozen peace treaties." He tilted his head. "You forgot one. The hearts you're breaking walking in here looking like that." A few aliens chuckled behind cover. Isla's jaw tightened. "You were warned. No contact, no influence, no temptations." Jax's eyes twinkled. "Then maybe don't send a temptation to deliver the message." Suddenly, Isla pulled a small cube from her belt, tossed it on the bar. A hologram lit up. The Galactic Council. Live feed. The judge from 6 months ago looked older, angrier. "Jax Orion," he barked. "You have corrupted over 47 alien officials. You are creating chaos." Jax stood, eyes locked on the hologram. "I'm creating freedom." The judge leaned in. "You will shut this place down, or we will do it for you." Jax slowly turned the cube off, then faced the crowd. The guests, alien nobles, smugglers, even former enemies, waited. Isla's soldiers raised their weapons. And Jax? He raised his glass. To freedom, to flavor, and to whatever this gorgeous captain's hiding under that suit. Even Isla smiled, just a little. Still full of jokes? He stepped closer, so close she could smell the whiskey on his breath. Only when the stakes are high and the tension's tight. Their eyes locked. For a second, it was quiet. Then, boom! The front entrance blew open again. A second ship had landed. This time, not Earth, but the Varn Empire. And stepping through the smoke, Princess Nyari, the same royal alien Jax once seduced, and apparently never stopped texting. She was tall, glowing, wrapped in silk and scandal. "Isla," Nayari said coldly. "I told you, this man is under my protection." Isla's face hardened. "This is Earth business." Princess Nayari stepped forward, heels clicking, hips swaying. "You had your chance. Now it's my turn to claim what you threw away." And the lounge? Silent. Every guest frozen, watching two powerful women, one from Earth, one from the stars, facing off over one banned human man with a glass in his hand and a smirk on his face. Jax leaned back and whispered, "This is about to get delicious." The tension in the air was thicker than the perfume Princess Nayari wore. On one side, Captain Isla Voss, Earth's sharpest blade. On the other, Princess Nayari, the galaxy's most desired royal. And in the middle, Jax Orion. The man Earth tried to bury in silence, but the galaxy resurrected in whispers. He raised his glass like a referee in a very sexy war. "Ladies, please, let's not fight over me." He gave them both a slow, teasing glance. "Unless you're doing it in zero gravity, then I'm all in." The crowd chuckled nervously. Isla stepped forward, voice tight. "Jax, you're coming with me, now." Nayari didn't flinch. "He's under my shield. Touch him, and I call war." Jax blinked. "Wow, this is the best threesome negotiation I've ever seen." Isla shot him a glare. "Shut up, Orion." He took another sip. "Would love to, but my mouth's kind of famous." Nayari tilted her head, amused. "I remember." Another awkward silence. The tension wasn't just military, it was personal. And hot. Too hot. Finally, Jax set his glass down and stepped between them. "All right, let's solve this like adults." He looked at Isla. "You banned me, said I was dangerous." He turned to Nayari. "You worshipped me, said I was divine." He leaned back with a devilish smile. Funny how both those things feel true. Isla narrowed her eyes. "You're not untouchable, Jax." He smirked. "Careful saying that word around me, Captain. Gets me excited." Then, a beep. Small, sharp, hidden. Jax froze. He turned slowly, eyes scanning the lounge, then locked eyes with the blue-skinned alien woman from before, the one he flirted with when this all began. She was no longer seated. She was now armed and transmitting. Jax's smile vanished. "You really were wired." The alien spy held up a small trigger. "Sorry, Jax, you're fun, but I've got bills to pay." Isla instantly raised her weapon. Nayari stepped forward. "Who sent you?" But it was too late. Psss. Crack! The spy hit the trigger, and all around the lounge, hidden explosives powered up. One wrong move, and the entire place would go dark. Jax didn't blink. "You sure you want to blow up the only man who ever made you blush?" The spy hesitated. "Don't flatter yourself." He stepped forward, calm, confident, the way only a man who's been hunted and kissed by queens can move. "You said you wanted credits, right?" She nodded. He stopped just inches from her, leaned close, voice low, dangerous, and sexy. "I'll give you double." Pause. "Double the credits, and double the time in the VIP suite." The spy bit her lip. "You think I'd trust you alone?" He grinned. "Nope, but I promise I'll make you forget why you said yes." Behind him, Isla whispered, "Is he negotiating with a terrorist? Using his body?" Nayari answered, "No, darling. He's using his talent." The spy slowly lowered the trigger. "You have 5 minutes," she whispered. Jax winked. "Sweetheart, I only need 4. Then he grabbed her hand and walked her toward the back room. Isla rubbed her temples. "I can't believe this is working." Nayari smirked. "I can." The rest of the lounge waited, every breath held, every blaster aimed. Jax and the spy disappeared into the private suite. And 5 minutes later, boom. But it wasn't the lounge. It wasn't destruction. It was music. The system came back online. The lights flickered gold, and a sultry voice echoed over the speaker. System secured, explosives disabled, and the spy? She's busy. Jax's voice. Cocky, calm, deliciously victorious. Isla just sighed. He turned her. Nayari nodded. Of course he did. And then the door opened again. Jax walked out, shirt slightly unbuttoned, lips slightly bruised, and eyes gleaming with that stupid, perfect human arrogance. Sorry for the wait, he said. I had to disarm her. He tossed the deactivated trigger to the floor. Now then, anyone else want to try blowing me up? Or should we all just grab a drink and talk about how amazing I am? But then, a silent alert flashed on Nayari's wrist. She checked it. Her eyes widened. Earth wasn't done. A second warship was now approaching, not for capture, but to erase the entire lounge. No warnings, no words, just one command: eliminate Orion. Nayari looked at Jax and knew she couldn't stop what was coming next. But she didn't know Jax had a secret, one that made him untouchable, not because of fame, not because of charm, but because he had something Earth wanted back, and he was about to make them beg for it. The room was alive again. Music played softly. Alien guests resumed sipping their glittering drinks, and the spy who tried to blow it all up? She was now smiling like she'd just seen the stars, from much too close. But Jax Orion, he was watching something else. On Princess Nayari's wrist, a red pulse glowed. Urgent, military, dangerous. He didn't need to ask. He already knew. Earth wasn't done with him. Not by a long shot. Nayari slowly approached, her voice low. Jax, a second Earth ship is inbound. Not for capture, for deletion. He didn't flinch. They're sending a kill squad? She nodded. They're not coming to talk. Jax sipped his drink, slowly, smoothly, like it was just another Thursday. Well, he said, they finally got tired of watching me win. Captain Isla Voss stepped up behind him. You think this is a game? He turned. No, I think it's foreplay. Isla clenched her jaw. He always knew how to piss her off and turn her on. They'll erase everything, Jax, she said. Your bar, your guests, you. He shrugged. That's rude. I didn't even get to charge cover tonight. Nayari's voice tightened. We need to evacuate. Now. But Jax raised his hand. Not yet. Both women stared at him. Why not? Isla snapped. Jax's eyes twinkled with something deeper, darker, deadly. Because I have something they want, he said. And if I move first, I lose the game. Nayari stepped closer, whispering, What do you mean? Jax leaned in between them both, voice low. They didn't just ban me for flirting with half the galaxy. He looked at Isla. Or for that night with your sister. Isla's eyes flared. You said that was a dream. He winked. I lied. Then he turned away and walked behind the bar. He pressed a hidden panel. A vault opened. Inside, something pulsed. It wasn't a weapon. It wasn't tech. It was something ancient, glowing, and unmistakably human. Both women froze. Isla whispered, You took it? Nayari blinked. Is that? Jax nodded. The last real piece of Project Veda. Isla stepped back. That's classified tech. Earth level. Soul-coded. Jax smiled. They said it was too dangerous. Too unpredictable. Too emotional. He lifted the glowing core. And too human. Nayari's voice dropped. They want it back. And they're willing to burn everything to get it, Jax said. But now, they'll have to beg. He turned to both women, holding the core like a crown. They thought they exiled a problem, but they created a king. Then, boom! The walls shook. The guests screamed. On the horizon, through the transparent dome, a massive Earthship hovered into view. Dark, silent, deadly. The Empire's royal guards raised their weapons. Jax calmly turned to his bouncer. "Ready the countermeasures?" The bouncer frowned. "We don't have any." Jax smirked. "We do now." He reached into his coat and pressed a button on a black wristband. Far above the lounge, hidden behind a moon, another ship uncloaked. Not Earth, not Empire, but something custom. Sleek, sexy, deadly. Jax's ship, built in secret, armed in silence, and named after the one thing he was always, accused of being the Temptation. The Earthship locked weapons. The Temptation lit up in response. 2 seconds from war. 1 second from chaos. Jax turned to Isla and Nayari and simply asked, "You girls want to watch? Or ride shotgun?" The Temptation roared to life. Sleek black steel, red-tinted engines, and a glowing underbelly that pulsed like a heartbeat. Inside the lounge, everyone stared up through the glass dome, watching the ship that wasn't supposed to exist. Captain Isla Voss whispered, "That's yours?" Jax Orion smirked. "I'm full of surprises." Nayari smiled. "Not full, just tight in the right places." Jax winked. "You noticed." Suddenly, the comms lit up. A voice from the Earth warship. "This is Commander Tress of Earth Fleet Prime. Surrender Orion, or be eliminated." Jax rolled his eyes. They always talk dirty right before pulling out. He tapped his wristband again. The Temptation shifted midair, and with a soft mechanical hum, it dropped a sleek, glittering capsule through the lounge dome, gently caught in an anti-grav field. Everyone backed away as the capsule opened. Steam hissed, and out stepped a woman. No armor, no weapons, just curves, heels, and eyes that looked like sin wrapped in secrets. The guests whispered, "Who is that?" Jax turned. "That is my real defense system." Isla squinted. "She looks like an assassin," Nayari finished. "No," Jax grinned. "She's worse." The woman walked over to him slowly. Tight red dress, bare shoulders, lips like fire. She looked at Isla, then at Nayari, then kissed Jax, long and slow. He didn't resist. When they broke, she whispered, loud enough for the room, "I missed your taste, Captain." Isla's jaw clenched. Nayari raised an eyebrow. "Wait, she was a captain too?" Jax smiled. "I have a thing for uniforms." The woman turned to the crowd. "My name is Lyra, former Earth Black Ops, and now, loyal only to Orion." She pulled a sleek blaster from under her thigh strap. "Anyone here planning to betray him again? Better shoot first." A few guests lowered their weapons. Jax poured another drink. "I love when my exes come together to save me." Isla crossed her arms. "She's your ex?" Nayari added. "How many do you have?" Jax raised 2 fingers, then paused, and added a third, slowly. "Define ex." Suddenly, the comms buzzed again. Earth's voice returned. "You have 10 seconds to surrender." Jax sipped. 9 seconds more than I need." He stepped onto the small platform rising from the center of the lounge. The entire room lit up in holographic projection, a galaxy-wide live stream, hacked into Earth's feed. Now everyone was watching. Billionaires, soldiers, rivals, fans. Jax stood tall, center stage, a drink in one hand, that ancient, glowing Earth tech core in the other. He looked straight into the camera. "You banned me." He raised the core. "But you forgot I took your soul with me." Gasps across the galaxy. Nayari stared. Isla whispered, He didn't. Jax grinned. Project Veda wasn't just tech. It was Earth's emotional memory system, the code that made humans feel. He held the glowing orb higher. I didn't steal it. He stepped forward. I am it. Boom! The Earth warship fired its first warning shot. The lounge shook. The Temptation powered up weapons in response. Lyra slid next to Jax. Say the word. Jax looked at both Isla and Nayari. Tell me something. They leaned in. What turns you on more, power or watching your enemies beg for it? The sky above the lounge turned red. Earth's warship charged its main cannon. One shot would erase everything. The drinks, the music, the danger, and the man they all couldn't stop watching. Inside, Jax Orion stood like he didn't care. He watched the screen, watched the countdown, watched the galaxy hold its breath. 5 seconds until fire. 4, 3. Then he raised the glowing Earth core high above his head and did the unthinkable. He crushed it. Boom! Crack! Shockwave. Light exploded from his hands. Power burst through the dome, surging into the sky, right into the enemy ship's cannon. The warship stuttered, froze, and powered down. Total silence. Then all around the lounge, cheers, gasps, moans. Even the spy girl whispered, I think I just short-circuited. But Jax? He stood there, glowing, his hands still warm with fire. Lyra ran to him. Are you insane? You just destroyed the only leverage you had. Isla stepped forward. That was Earth's last backup of Project Veda. Nayari added, You just threw away your only weapon. Jax smirked. Wrong. He opened his shirt, and on his chest was a pulsing light. I didn't destroy it. I became it. All three women stared. Lyra blinked. It's in you now? Every emotion Earth wanted to delete. Every feeling they feared. Desire, rage, love, lust. He stepped forward, eyes glowing. I'm not just human anymore. He walked past the crowd. I'm the emotional virus they couldn't contain. I'm the reason rules were written. I'm what they warned their daughters about. He stopped at the bar, poured a drink with one hand, and pulled Lyra close with the other. And I'm what they wish their sons could be. He kissed her, hard, then let go just as fast. Now let's send Earth a message from the man they couldn't control. He looked to his crew. To the Temptation, minutes late. They boarded the ship. The lounge now in lockdown, hidden in a deep stealth field. Jax took the cockpit. Nayari took weapons. Lyra slid into the co-pilot seat. Isla? She stood behind Jax, arms crossed, but lips curling with interest. You know this is suicide, right? Jax flipped switches. Only if I die. And baby, I'm allergic to that. The Temptation shot forward, through asteroid fields, through radar nets, straight toward the Earth warship, now rebooting, trying to regain control. The comms lit up again. This is Commander Tress. Surrender. This is your final warning. Jax leaned forward. This is Orion. Pause. I don't surrender. He looked at Isla. Want to push the red button? She hesitated, then smirked, pressed it. Boom. The Temptation's cannon fired a shockwave, not to destroy, but to overload every emotional firewall on the enemy ship. Inside Earth's warship, officers collapsed crying. Others started laughing uncontrollably. A few stripped naked, yelling, I love Jax Orion! Commander Tress screamed, Turn it off! Turn it! Static. Total blackout. Back in the Temptation, Jax spun his chair slowly. Looks like they got overwhelmed. Isla rolled her eyes. Nayari giggled. Lyra whispered, So what now, Captain Feel Everything? Jax leaned back. Now we go to Earth. Not to return. He grinned, dark. But to host a party they'll never forget. Earth never expected him to come back. Not like this. Not glowing with stolen tech. Not flying a ship powered by emotion. Not with 3 of the galaxy's most dangerous women. all strapped in beside him. Jax Orion had once been a mistake Earth tried to bury. Now, he was the storm they had no words for. The temptation pierced Earth's outer defense grid like butter. Alarms blared. Drones scrambled. Inside control towers, confused officers shouted, "Who gave him access? Who unlocked landing clearance? Why are our systems feeling things?" Too late. The ship landed. Smooth. Cocky. Disrespectful. Just like Jax. He stepped off the ramp in slow motion. Dark sunglasses. Tight black coat. That glowing core pulsing in his chest. Lyra walked beside him. Blaster drawn. Hips loaded. Nayari glided on his other side, dressed in Varn royal silk that screamed danger and seduction. Isla followed behind, weapon raised, but lips curling in curiosity. A welcome party waited at the base. Earth's high command. Politicians, military, even an ex-lover or two pretending not to look. Jax walked right up and smiled like a man with zero respect for consequences. A general stepped forward. "You were exiled. You have no right to be here." Jax removed his glasses slowly. "I was exiled." He let the pause stretch. "And now aliens beg for my invite." The general growled. "We will detain you." Jax raised a single finger. Suddenly, boom. Behind them, the temptation beamed out a pulse. Earth's security bots glitched. Guards dropped their weapons, or dropped to their knees. One soldier moaned, "He's too much." Another officer pulled his own shirt off, laughing hysterically. A female advisor gasped, "He made the entire army feel horny and helpless." Jax turned back to the general. "Try to detain me, and you'll be the one begging for release." He walked past them all, headed straight for the Senate Tower. He wasn't there to ask. He was there to own. Inside the chamber, Earth's leaders stood up. Suits, suits, suits. The same ones who banned him. Jax raised his voice so the whole building, hell, the whole planet, could hear it. "You exiled me for being too human. You feared emotion. You feared chaos. You feared the fact that I made your daughters blush, your sons jealous, and your AIs crash with dirty dreams." He stepped forward. "You tried to turn Earth into a planet of machines, but I remembered who we were. Flawed, dangerous, too emotional, too loud, too seductive." He grinned wide, and completely fucking irresistible. The crowd gasped. The cameras zoomed in, and then he dropped something on the Senate floor. A silver cube. It flickered, then activated, playing back every message, every desperate transmission the galaxy had sent him over the last 6 months. Alien queens, war heroes, senators, spies, begging for entry to his bar, begging for his time, begging for him. He turned to the council. "You banned me!" He pointed to the screen behind him, showing alien empires celebrating his return. "But the galaxy crowned me." One final pause. He looked right into the lens and said, "Earth, I'm not here for forgiveness. I'm here for the guest list." Outside, the Temptation's speakers blasted music loud enough to shake the tower. People started dancing. Security surrendered, and 3 very dangerous women joined him on the Senate floor, ready to rewrite Earth's future, with heels, blasters, and lips ready for war.